Today, I want to talk about variegated plants, especially variegated violets. I love variegated plants, and I wanted some variegated African violets to finish my African violet video series. I couldn't find any within an hour and a half or 2 hours drive. I went online to Etsy and eBay, and you know how that goes. There's a pretty picture that was probably stolen from somebody else because the same picture is on every site. You read the comments, and people complain that the plant they got doesn't match the picture. I decided to go to this source, so I ordered from the Violet Barn. Ralph and Olive Robinson have been involved with growing African violets for something like 50 years. They've won all the important awards in the African violet world, including winning Grower of the Year 4 times. They've created many new African violet and Streptocarpus hybrids that have won many new Best Cultivar awards at the African Violet Society of America National Show. If you see a violet with a name that begins with Robs or Ma, short for mom or mother, or a Streptocarpus name that begins with bristles, such as Bristol's boomerang, you will know it came from the Violet Barn. There is an actual barn in northern New York State that is the headquarters for growing these plants. I ordered this cute semi-trailing violet, Robs Mirabuka. It has white and blue flowers and wonderful white and green leaves. Like most of the plants ordered online, it's a new plant that will take some time to grow to maturity. Then I found out that the Northern Illinois Gesnerid Society show at the Chicago Botanic Garden was coming. Many of these types of shows for whatever kind of plant will have someone selling plants. I hope to find a couple more of these small variegated violets. Instead of small ones, I found that Gary's Violets had incredible, huge variegated violets for sale, along with small ones and many Streptocarpus varieties. Look at these plants. He had many more that were already sold, but I got 2 very nice ones. You'll have to send a private message to Gary on his Facebook page to place an order. I'll add a link to the Violet Barn's website in the description, but it's really easy, it's just violetbarn.com. So let's talk about variegated violets and other variegated plants. We all know that leaves are usually green. In the fall, some leaves turn red, orange, or yellow. And sometimes plants have red or purple streaks, and sometimes there's white streaks. So why are leaves green? They're soaking in some ultraviolet light, some infrared light, and colors we see in the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. But they're mostly reflecting the green light away. The green pigment is chlorophyll, but there are also red, orange, and yellow pigments that are usually covered up by the chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is used in photosynthesis to produce many chemicals that the plant needs, and it's sort of a sunscreen for plants. When the leaf is white, like this one growing on this rubber tree, it has very little or none of the other pigments. The leaf doesn't produce the necessary chemicals for the plant, and it doesn't have sunscreen to protect it. White leaves of any kind of plant are fragile and easily sunburned, so they need to be kept out of direct sunlight. As I often say in my Green Review gardening book and other videos, there's a horticulture balance between the top and bottom of a plant. There can't be more leaves than the roots can supply water, and there can't be more roots than the leaves can supply with food. A white leaf isn't supplying the roots with food. If a plant sends out a whole bunch of white leaves, the whole plant will suffer to some extent. There will be fewer roots, the plant will grow slower, and flower less. It will need less water than a green leaf plant sitting next to it, so be careful not to overwater it. It won't be needing repotting as often because the roots won't fill the pot very fast. The potting soil may need to have better drainage to prevent overwatering, because the soil is going to hold too much water and the roots could rot. So overall, while a variegated plant is prettier, it may need some extra attention to its environmental needs. A leaf that is mixed with green and white or red is healthier than a totally white leaf. Some varieties of African violets have leaves that start out variegated or even all white and then turn green as they mature. As you can see, these are doing that. Some plants send out more white leaves in cooler temperatures than when the plant is warmer. If you want to see the variegated leaves on those varieties, you'll need to keep those plants in a cooler location than your other green-leafed African violets. They're kept in the upper 60s to low 70s instead of the normal mid to upper 70s. If you like variegated plants and African violets as much as I do, check out the Violet Barn website and Gary's Violets Facebook page. And as a preview, both these companies sell Streptocarpus hybrids that I'll be talking about in a future video. These plants grow in the same conditions as African violets. They have very showy flowers. They're easier to maintain as we want to see side branches and rhizomes on these plants instead of cutting them off like we do on the violets. This video that you're watching is the third of 4 videos on African violets that I'm making. The 4th video is on propagating African violets, and I've done a whole bunch of work already. It'll be finished in a month or 2 as the new plants sprout from the leaf cuttings. You can't rush that process or the video, so subscribe and click on the notification settings down below so you'll be notified when that video is published. And this is Jeff with a Greener View. Thanks for watching.